Hi everyone, it's Kathleen, and I'm responding to a viewer inquiry. My viewer is asking, Ms. Bonzik, I've applied for a position, I've gone in, I've interviewed, I think I did well, I haven't heard anything. Should I take the initiative, pick up the phone, and call the supervisor and kind of find out what's going on? Well, this is a common inquiry. I mean, haven't we all applied for a position at some point in our life and really wanted it, and it just seems as though time drags while we're waiting to hear hopefully good news of we'd like to offer you the position and when can you start? Well, if you've interviewed for the position, what I'd like you to do in the course of your next interview to sort of prevent or minimize this anxiety is to ask at some point before you leave, what's the next step in this process? I'm very interested in the position. When will you be making a decision? So this way, if the company, the organization is at the early stages of recruiting and they tell you, well, you're the first or second candidate, and we're going to go through a series of first interviews over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks, that gives you some information. It means at the very least, you shouldn't expect to hear anything, at least for 2 or 3 weeks. But if you haven't done this, if you're waiting, or if they did say that we're going to make a decision and you haven't heard anything, it's perfectly fine to either pick up the phone and call your contact at the organization. Make it brief. Try to make it also, if you're going to call on a Friday if you possibly can. For some reason, we tend to be, all other things being equal, in a better mood and more receptive to receiving those types of calls on a Friday. If you can't, if it's Monday and you do want to find out what's going on, pick up the phone and call, but do not make repeated calls. I would recommend, if the person does not pick up the phone, don't leave a message, send an email, and then leave it at that. That's pretty much the most that you can do. Hopefully, the next communication will be from the organization advising you that they would like to hire you and when can you start. But if it's not, continue on with your recruiting. Remember, until you're actually tendered that offer, you're not hired as well as you think you did during the interview and what may have been said. Continue looking to avoid disappointment, and so that you will not be in a position, if you don't get that job, of having to start from scratch. Good luck. I hope this helps. This is Kathleen Bonzik, and please keep sending those questions in.